Okay, to finish the story about my lovely friend Avelino, rest in peace. I miss you so much, Grandpa. And he's like, "Fuck you, hey, Grandpa." I don't fuck. You don't fuck your grandpa, do you? No, I don't. I'm sorry. So here we go. We had so much fun with him. I have so many stories. But so the like back to okay. So that was it. Like I enjoyed the movie because the first one's good. The other ones are like eh. Like I couldn't get through the Salma Hayek one, the last one. They're making love and it's so overrated. But so yeah, so yeah, it was cool, and it was cute, to see the other girls react, And I was embarrassed. I ain't gonna lie to go to go in that movie alone. This is over 10 years ago, I think, something like that. Yeah, this is before I got my benefits. You know, and he's dead. So poor Avelino. And I swore I seen him. I'm like, he's not dead. When I was flipping out in the cop car, getting Baker acted, I saw somebody that looked like him, but he was alive then. And I'm like, oh, Avelino. And I was doing some gangster shit, like showing my girl. And because I'm in handcuffs to the back of the car, wilding out, and this black guy was cracking up laughing. Um, so, so yeah, when I asked him Alex had some dope. So he's like, Avelino, I'll give you like a nickel for some weed for Vanessa. So Avelino, of course, came real quick. And he was funny because you always knew when he's high because he would get on his bicycle and he wouldn't look at you. And we're like, look, he's high, man, he's high. Man, it's a miracle he didn't die a long time ago. I'm like, he's gonna have a heart attack and die. And he had an apartment. So why the fuck is he under the bridge smoking crack? But he used to go with Alex, and I would like find out that all the money he made all day, he wasted with Alex smoking crack. And I'm at Presidente, and I run into him. And that's where he lived, by Presidente. It's more west from our spot. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, what's up, man? And I think he was like, hey, you got $5 or something. And I was like, no, but I have food stamps. And I don't know, he had bought some steak or something. And I think he gave me some weed or whatever for buying him something in the store. So shit like that. And then he wants to be like, shh, don't let him know you're paying for me with food stamps or some crap. But it was cool. It was funny. And I don't know what he gave me or what the transaction was. I just know I hooked him up. And I think all you wanted was like some fucking Capri Sun. That was on sale. Um, but he was a sweetheart, man. Poor old man. Don't cry, Vanessa. And the day that he brought he when he peeked under the thing, he had his fucking sunglasses on, looking like this. And he said something. He said something about like to scare us. And I almost pissed my pants. This is when I first met these people. And I got my weed, and of course I left like some food. I don't think I had any money. Probably food stamps only. But that's Avelino. And then there's Aldo that passed away, which he decided to be a drunk and drink himself to death because he just got fed up, I guess. Because he's like, I used to have a pool in the house, and he hated Cuba because he was a prisoner in Cuba, and he has a tattoo like one of those like prison tattoos, like in Cuba or whatever, like with for his mother. I think he had two, and he wasn't very attractive, like when he got naked or whatever, and not like I judged him like that. And he was very self-conscious. And I remember one day, like there was this guy that used to be kind of rude to him. He was a truck driver, and he would come in and like, bro, he would hook it up when he came. He had money, bro, and he'd stay like 2 days. And I took off with him to the hotel a couple times. I just got pissed, but it is what it is. So, that's Teo. Okay, I can say his name, and I don't say his last name. Or who gives a fuck? How many Teos are there? Which Alex brought up today, and I completely forgot about him. Like one day we were like, he would be crazy. His daughter would come bring him food and money and shit. So the day I'm talking about, we're sitting on our sofa. We had this sofa, bro. Like man, that sofa was a long time. We had that sofa on the corner by the bus stop. It's not there no more. The bus stop. They moved it. And then, but that couch was there for a long time. You know, I don't know why nobody wanted it. Because anytime there was like trash in the corner, people picked that shit up quick. You know. And I used to love sitting on that sofa and sleeping. You know. But so we're all chilling on the sofa. It's daytime, and I don't know. I never really jonesed that hard in Hialeah. You know, not like in the hood. And I think we were all kind of tired. Like we didn't want to smoke anymore. You know, except for Cheo, the one with the money. And like Alex would be like, "Oh, I'll go get you cigarettes. I'll go get you this. I'll go get you that." You know. And I started doing that. He's like, "Shut up! You sound like Alex." So hey man, I'll go for you. I'll do it. I'll get the pipe. I'll get the lighter. You know, because you'd be stuck. So this day we're watching the Caliente's, an adult store, and it's across the street. And they had to put a stop sign there because I think it's an eyesore and a distraction. Because they kept having accidents there. I'll tell you a story about that one. It's pretty graphic. But I didn't see it. I saw it and I heard it, you know? It was pretty cool, actually, too. So, anyways, but they had it roped off and it fucked things up, man, you know? And it was sad hearing everybody crying. And it took, like, hours for that shit to, like, not be roped off, you know? So, but that was, and people kept running into the wall of the big mural, that fucking ugly graffiti on Caliente that I don't like. And like it should be like a Wynwood or somewhere else, South Beach, you know, like not there, not Hialeah. And now it's like it's all maricones. Like before, I used to bank, bro. There was straight people used to come. I went with a maricone once. I'll tell you that story too, but I'm not ready to disclose that one. That one's gross. And so yeah, they kept running into the wall and having to fix it, you know. And that's not the point. But people were dying and getting hurt. I've seen so many accidents happen there. And so before that happened, and it's pretty close to the other stop sign, which is, I think, why they didn't want to do it in the first place. I don't freaking know. They're retarded. And, anyways, we're sitting there and we're chilling, you know. We had been up for who knows how many hours, and we're hungry. And his daughter's bringing him probably food. I think it was money and food, you know. I mean, that's the only reason I could think he was waiting, you know, that he ran out of money. And his daughter was really pretty and nice, you know, no judgment, you know. Okay, dad, you know, here you go, here's your comida. And he was sharing the food with us, you know. And Aldo was there and he was hungry. And Aldo never ate. We had to force him to eat. He would be shaking, his eyes would be all different colors because his eyes, you know, it affects just everything. And he was getting sicker and sicker. And it was so sad. He was like so skinny and his hair was wet. I think he took a shower. And I teased him. I used to call him my little wet rat or whatever. Like I said, you look like a little raton or whatever, you know. And he wasn't like too like sensitive to get that, you know. And we were friends. And he used to always say how like, even Alex would say it, Vanessa always takes care of Aldo. Because I would be like, fuck it, I don't care what you say. I'm bringing him our leftover food. We're not throwing it in the garbage, you know? He eats it, he doesn't eat it, oh well, you know? And he'd be happy. I'd be like, I would throw him like some money for alcohol. I pawned my computer just to give him buy a big bottle of alcohol and pay his tab, you know? And he was so happy. And we had fun, and he hated it when I waved a trick or I was tricked. And I hated when Alex hit me, you know? And he even watched me bathe and help me. You know, would know, like, he'd flirt with me and play around, but he didn't want to fuck me, you know? He had a girlfriend, Flaca, you know? And, so yeah, and he's really sweet, a gentleman, you know? And he was afraid to accept the food and ask for it. I said, Aldo, what's wrong with you? Eat. You're invited, you're here, aren't you? You know, because Cheo was kind of a jackass to him. And so we're there chilling. And we look across the street and Cheo goes, oh shit, look at this shit. And these 3 little kids from a Star Motel. Little jits, bro, you know? Tiny as fuck. It was the cutest shit ever. They sneaked through like the alley. You can't do that no more. It was behind the building because we had a mattress back there too under a fucking tree, you know. And they sneaked behind there to go to Caliente to dare the boy to open the door. And we're like, watch. Is he gonna do it? And he was so cute because he was like the runt of the litter, you know. I think it was two girls. It was two girls, a blonde chick, blonde girl. She's beautiful, and that poor girl felt really bad for her. She was the older one, and she whispered to her mom's ear because she got caught by me, you know, by us, because I said something to the kids when I went to Star Motel. I used to sell things like shoes and stuff. So I we see him and we're like looking at this and waiting, are they gonna do it or not, you know? And the little boy opens the door and peeps in, and then he run back, you know? And we started cracking up laughing, you know? Because it was adorable. And, this one of the little girls, she was like mulata. And she was so cute. And she had a little nail salon one time when I went to Star Motel. Like, not all the people there are bad, you know? It's a bad motel, though. Like, they need to clean it up or get rid of it. And they're never going to clean it up, so they need to get rid of it, you know? It's making that section really bad and ruining the businesses and everything, you know? So, it's been like that forever. When I was a stripper at Stonewall, it was a block away, and I used to live there, you know? I only liked it because I liked Roger, the owner, you know? I had a crush on Junior, but he's married, and fuck that. I don't want to be part of they're all from Lebanese. You know what that is? Similar to like Indian or whatever. So, I mean, I'm not judging like that, but I mean, I've known them since I was a kid. And they're a little bit stuck up, you know? And I saw Antoinette, which I grew up with her, and she always been stuck up. And boy, is she beautiful, you know? I couldn't believe how pretty, like, she looks exactly the same, but, like, so fucking pretty, you know? He used to be upset because she didn't have children, and she was, like, more interested in her career. The father. He's passed away, man. I didn't get to say goodbye. You know? I'm so sad about it. Everybody's dying. And so, yeah, so I go there one day, and she wanted my shoes, the little girl. So I gave them to her. She never gave me the $4. I bought for like 13 at DD's, you know. I didn't want to steal little girls' shoes. I'm teaching them, you know. So we have a little talk with them. And I said, you know what, you guys? You're too young to be going into the adult store. Don't do it again. I saw you. And you just seen their face. We're busted, you know. I said some shit like that, you know. Like, and I'm like, don't worry, I'm not saying anything to you. I'm not telling nobody or whatever, you know. I like a little talk with the little kids, you know. Like, kids love me, you know. And when I lived there, I used to buy the ice cream truck. I used to feed all the kids, get all the kids ice cream. I was a stripper. I had plenty of money, you know. And there was one little girl that was getting molested by her father. I didn't know that right away. And it was so sad, but she grew up to be really good. When I saw her, she was pregnant young, but she was so beautiful. And she had dark, long hair. When she was young, she had blonde hair. She looked like a gringa, you know? But he was a drunk, and he did the best he could. And I think when he got drunk, he would like get handsy. Like I said, she was really beautiful. I couldn't save her. I wanted to. So whatever. That's what I heard, and I'm pretty sure because I seen her like uncomfortable, and I saw something I didn't like, you know. And I didn't deal with him, but I used to date his dad. He used to sneak in my room. Don't tell nobody. Like the whole hotel's not watching, you know. And it's Hialeah, Lando Chimosas. Are you kidding me? You do it in East Hialeah, they already know West before you leave. So, it's on Telemundo. I dated a guy that worked for Telemundo. That's a long story, and it's in a whole other direction that I want to go. But he was nice, you know. He drove. I'll take you wherever you want to go, Vanessa. You know, he did the videos. Something to do with the videos, and like when they had VHSs still, or whatever. I forget, but he worked for them. And, anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, Star Motel. Excuse me. So it was so cute when I went there. I would go there to use the phone a lot, and maybe buy a soda from the lady working in the office or the soda machine. I mean, I didn't usually go there. I don't cop, and I never really went to Star Motel to get drugs because they know all that, like they know who's selling and shit, even though they pretend not to, and then they want to try to bust you and shit, or kick you out or whatever. But play favorites. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know how to explain it. It's changed a lot over the years, but it's the rooms are nicer. They have some really nice rooms, then they have some hole in the wall still, And be like crack burns on the fucking tables and shit, from the pipe or cigarettes maybe, and drawers falling apart, walls all dirty. The shower, oh, they messed up the plumbing. They crossed some lines. So we had a good room, but the shower fucking scalded your ass. And me and James would be in there and wait, oh no, fuck, watch out. And it was hot. It's funny now, but it wasn't funny, So I would like, fuck this room. I'm not want to be in this room. I'll take a crappy room. I'm not getting burned in the shower again. But there was one room I really like. I think it's number 12. I used to love number 13. That was like my room when I was a stripper. It's also my lucky number. If I'm correct, there is a 13 there. But we used to be number 11, I believe, which is the back room, which like everybody wants that room, because like it's more inconspicuous, because it's the only room in the back. And there's also another one that's on the side of the office, which I hate that room. And when we were serving, that's where we used to fucking stay, Do you know how paranoid it is? Like they can't smell the crack in the office, So, but if you're closer to the office, the internet works better, the Wi-Fi. So, I like the second floor though the best. I'm a second floor bitch. And it's in the corners of 31, I think. That one is my favorite. It's really pretty, like more modern, and it's all white. Like super clean. And the efficiencies are good. They have efficiencies. I rented those two. I was at number 19 and 17, but mostly 19 when I was a stripper. Back in the day, it was 18. When it was $25, $29 a night. $150 a week. They raised it to 160 and said, oh, you can stay 150. Oh, wow, thanks. But they would let me pay like 90 and then the rest sometimes. They worked for me. And, I mean, it has history. I love it and I hate it, It's one of those things. Because they have homeless people sleeping in the parking lot, too, and across the street and behind it sometimes, I don't know what's happened since I left, Because I went near it once. I found out he died. And the asshole Jose that I hate, that is a douchebag and part of the problem. Like he would give us rides he would sneak off and give rides to people, like to the gas station shit, and like charge you money or food stamps, whatever the fuck, because that's all he cares about is money. And he thinks he's gangster and shit, and he's a fucking asshole. And everybody wants to kick his ass, Nobody likes him. And if they do, then they're just as bad as him, And he tried to sell me so many fucking times, it's not funny. Kind of did, but didn't, And, like, I'm okay to be there if I'm doing the wrong things, but if I'm doing the right things, I'm not, Like the last time I was in Bird's room and he's in prison or jail right now. Kind of deserves to be. And I was in his room with him, and he was late coming home or whatever. And I woke up, and I was kind of jonesing because I waited so long for him to come back, And it was like 11 o'clock, and I needed a cigarette, but I didn't have money for a cigarette. He sells Marlboros, and he sells Newports or some shit, And he doesn't front nobody nothing, and he does, and he wants to switch you for 50 cents or $1. And you're making the money anyways by bringing the trash in there, He's stupid. And so I came out and I'm talking to him and he has a guy next to him and I didn't know what was up, because I just woke up. And I just wanted a cigarette. And he goes, well, he'll buy you one. And I asked the guy, can you please get me a cigarette? And he says, sure. He charges $1 for the cigarettes, And I traded him the once. I traded him a pack of Marlboros or something for a pack of another one, So shit like that. He's not terrible. He can be nice, but he fucked me over real bad, And I can't forgive him. So, plus this guy that he set me up with, he's like, he's a nice guy. The guy wasn't nice. He pretended to be, but he wasn't nice at all, you know? And so the guy takes me, the guy has tons of money, okay? And we go and we cop. And then he takes me really far, like, fuck, like by, some casino. I don't know, man. Far, okay? Like, still in Miami, though, you know? And he lived in a trailer, and some woman ran into him that was really nice, he said. But we still had to be a little quiet, you know? It was nice, his pad, you know? He had a truck. He was decent enough, but they always fuck up. Those, you know, as a trick. And he tried to give me another time, telling me he had $7. I was like, no, I'm good. And he couldn't even give me $1. I said, I'm trying to get food. That's what I'm doing right now. That's what I do at this hour. I'm homeless, remember? I was in the hotel then, you know? And he couldn't even give me, he was coked up like a motherfucker, and he couldn't give me, you have $7 and you can't give me a buck at least for a soda or chips, you know? So, because at that time everything's closed, you can't really find food. And I would go to the hotel dumpster, like the hotel garbage cans used to have the good food, because people waste so much food, you know, I'd find pizzas and shit. What's up, man? I'm storytelling her. You're like, oh no, let me get out before you kill me. What you're talking. Hey, you want to borrow mine? It works really good. It's a speed one. Look, see? Watch. See? Hound gave it to me. Or lends it to me. Might as well plug in before he needs it. You know? Because I'm not really jacking his fucking charger. I'm going to buy my own, you know? I want to buy like a different cord charger, you know? Like a really good one. So anyways, what was I telling you? Oh, about this douchebag. I didn't remember his name, but I didn't care because I was paying him, you know? I just wanted his money. And I'd get high, you know? For technically free. But not really. I worked. So we're there, and I didn't even want to smoke, to be honest with you. So I just, like, I was bored and I wanted money, you know? It never really was about the drugs. It was always money, 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 you know? To survive, food. And like I told you, I used to go through garbage cans, you know? But I would score a lot of times, except for when I caught salmonella. That pretty much killed it for me, you know? I still don't know what caused it. If it was the food from the cafeteria, some spaghetti I had that I was like eating all day, you know? Or or from the dumpsters. But it was bad. I was with James when it happened. I woke up throwing up, like from projectile vomiting, you know? And just like, he's like, what's wrong? Are you okay? I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to eat. And he used to always make fun of the food at Ray Chavez, you know? It's not that bad, but it used to be really bad back in the day, you know? Like it got better. Because it's like the same shit and it's there long, you know? Out in the open. Sometimes they don't cook it right or it's not good meat, you know? But I've had good luck since then, you know? Like that was a long time ago, you know? Different cooks and shit, you know? So he walks me to the spot, you know? He's got to go to work. We were sleeping by the railroad tracks, which I loved because of the train. And my dad's a train guy. He worked for FAC 39 years. No, I can't eat Twinkies. Don't do it to me. Because I'm fat. Do not tempt me with a Twinkie, bitch. I'm sorry, you're not a bitch, but you feel me? She gave me a freaking moon pie, but it's a mini one. I could do a mini moon pie, but not a Twinkie. I appreciate you. I really do. I'll save the story for when you come back. See, I am having fun. I have fun all the time. And I get angry too. They're all different emotions, shit. And doesn't mean that I'm unhappy. God, you can't be happy 24/7. It's impossible. Give me some of those happy pills, I guess, or whatever the fuck you're smoking. I can't believe that I'm doing so good not smoking pot. And I'm not on medication. And what the fuck? I keep telling people that. So I'm fucked up a little bit, but I don't always, it's like, medication isn't always the answer, you know? I love it. Somebody's playing music loud at nighttime. How lovely. It's not just me now. Oh, don't trip. Be careful. Would you trip on my shoes? Let me move my shoes. You tripped on my shoes? Be careful. Sorry about that. Oh, God. I still the dog outfit. The pet outfit. Bro, I love this shit. I want to keep it. Huh? You want to put on your stuffed animal? You want to put on yours?
No, I like my face
You
naked.
you like it naked? It's a sloth, right? It's a sloth.
Yeah,
I love sloths. Who gave it to you?
Derek.
Oh my God, that's so sweet.
Derek gave me this one too. This is the first one.
Oh my God, no wonder you guys get along so well and so nice with each other. That's really sweet. He's a sweetheart. I like the other one, the rhinoceros.
Uh-huh.
I like the color.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I used to like get mad about getting stuffed animals as an adult. I wasn't into it, but now I am. Like I grew into it, or I was like too cool.
Yeah, you're so lonely.
Huh?
Sometimes it's just loneliness.
I know, and they comfort you. I don't. My ex landlord, he sleeps with. He's a grown man. He hates people. He admits it. He told me some crazy shit that he did in Honduras. Okay, I'll tell you. He fucking would shoot at people from the high rise. I think he purposely missed him or whatever. He wasn't trying to kill him, but that's how crazy he is. And he doesn't look like it. He looks like a soccer dad, and he feels old, and he's not. He's actually not that unattractive. It's really his. It's really the fact that he's living with his mother at that age, and he acts like he's no confidence, and everybody uses him because he's a millionaire. Like he came with a gun wanting to kill himself. And they're like, my Flaco's like, talk him out of it, man. Talk him out of it, man. He's going through it. He's crying and shit with the gun in his hand, and I have to talk him out of it. Do you know how hard that was? It was so sad. And he's a good guy. He's a Christian too. He let us have that fucking tire shop basically for free. You know? We almost never paid rent. How could it with Flaco? The biggest dope fiend in the whole world. There isn't enough crack ever for that nigga. Shit. He can supply everybody in their world with all their luxuries as well as the cocaine he needs. So, and I wonder why like truck drivers and fucking mechanics and shit all do all that shit. You know what I mean? I'm not stereotyping. It's actually fucking true from my experience. So that being said, he sleeps with a bed full of stuffed animals. And at first, people like think it's pathetic, and I was like, "That's fucking weird," but I didn't tell him that, and I understood. He was lonely, and he just wanted a good woman, and he missed his, but his got like deported, went to Mexico or something. He last heard because she was crazy too. And he told me a story about her like banging her head on the floor and shit and being paranoid about him tricking and whatever the fuck. But he owned also like 305 Sex Action magazine. Like how the fuck can she be okay with you owning that magazine, He recruited hoes on a daily, and was distributing the magazine. But he was good to her, really good to her. From what I heard, like the place where we stayed at, they had to tear it all down because Stearns was living it and he had it like pimped out. And then the bachelor pad on the other side with the fucking stripper pole was nice enough, That had like all the nice refrigerator and the appliances and stuff. The shower was all right. It was a stand up shower, and I had to clean that shit too. Nobody could fucking clean anything but me. And bro, imagine up and down the stairs, both sides, every day, all day. Half the time, not all the time, except for I slept on a fucking induced coma, sometimes forced, because take your medicine. I said, you want me to take my medicine, bitch? And I took the whole fucking prescription and put it in the toilet and flushed it. I said, you just trying to knock me out so you can do some shit behind my back. And then bitch at me because I'm sleeping all day. Like I have to ask permission, Are you my daddy? Well, spank me then because I'm tired of this shit. I try to cut my hair up. I'm like, you're not fucking using it. I can't cut my hair either. I can't dye my hair. That shit was torture. I want to go back to that shit. Fuck no. I didn't think I was ever going to get out of it. I think I was ever going to fall in love with him, It was absolute nightmare. And so, but it was a lot of fun too. I tell you the stories, right? They're craziness. So, um, the other side, I wanted it. And I told him too, I want both sides. Like, it's about that time we got both sides, bitch. We're making money, right? Oh, it's gonna be okay, Vanessa. I'm selling my watch to Chino, and we're gonna have $3,000. And I ain't seen no for fucking $3,000. I didn't see shit. I never got no money, no clothes. I borrowed $20 from Chino to get a dress that I wanted, and it reminded me of Jennifer Lopez. And it was a camouflage dress that was tight and cute, and it wasn't too short. And I was like so dirty and gross, wearing some like grandma fucking I don't know or a wife beater that looked like I was a dude in a mechanic, you know. And I went to the store by the plaza where Presidente was. He's Presidente? No. What am I? Navarro. And Dollar Tree, you know? And Subway. And Goodwill. And it's a good plaza. They even have like that little place where the old people go to like gamble. Like, cause like, you know what I'm talking about? I don't know. It's kind of like a little casino kind of, but I don't explain it. And it's Hialeah, remember? Where anything goes. Leave Miami Springs to go to Hialeah if you want a life. So anyways, where am I? Okay. So what was I telling you? It was important.
Both sides.
Hmm?
You're telling him about both sides because this says he borrowed and he sold the
The dress. I got $20 from Chino because I never got money from Flaco. And he always took mine because I would use it for credit. It was the only way we could tolerate each other and get through our days and all when he wasn't making money because he made cash money daily, you know, from his clients. He had regular clients, he had new clients, and he would fuck up clients because of his stupid addiction, you know. And he would let everybody know his business. He didn't give a fuck, even the cops. Yeah, I work, so what? I get high. I paid for it. And he told me, don't ever be ashamed of what you do, which kind of helped me be able to be functioning on that shit. So he helped me and he hurt me, you know, because I got used to having so much too, so that when my addiction was worse, when we broke up and he abandoned me. So, and I didn't do anything wrong. I was a good woman, you know. The only thing I did wrong, apparently, was smoke. That's how you met me. What the fuck? You're doing the same shit. You know? What about you fucking cook, clean, and go to the fucking mental hospital for once, etc., etc. And I can cheat on you all the time and lie and have all the money and give you nothing that a partner's supposed to give you. And then he wants to get some fucking earrings of a fucking booster instead of going to the store and getting me some earrings. But doesn't understand why I don't want it, you know? And the fucking other hoe that comes in the crib gets them. Yeah, give them to her. I don't want them anyway. Dumbass, I said that, but doesn't mean I meant it. You know? So, but I was over his shit, you know? I was over his shit much longer than he thought, you know? So, I just couldn't leave because I loved him. But I told him several times, I don't have faith in you no more. And that crushed him a couple times too, you know? Oh, well, crocodile tear, motherfucker. You're not crying when your dick's in another pussy, right? Fucker. So, what was I saying? I was about something important. The tire shop, man. That shit was fun having a tire shop. I'll never forget it. And I like the cars, man. And I could do that shit. It's not that hard. It really isn't, you know? But he thinks it is or makes it seem just the heavy shit, you know? And I liked watching him put an engine in. I love that picture. And he's wearing my ring then. But it was Flaco Performance was the name. So his best friend's a dick. I swear I saw them kiss once. Cause they were the only ones there. And I walk up and I swear it was like a, you know? And they were a little bit, but they're not, I don't think it was like a faggot thing, you know? Maybe not. I don't know, because I seen him do some gay ass shit when he was high. And they, no, Vanessa. Huh? Okay, there was this dude there, and he was a real asshole. And I think he was like playing him, to get dope. And he's doing the mechanic shit or whatever for the guy. And the guy was one of those like, because I was there in that environment, then all of a sudden I'm a hoe. And he's like, that's my girl, man. You know? But he didn't say what he needed to say, like, bitch, do you want to get fucked up? You know? Like he should have. Like I would have. And I wanted to, and I did have the time. Stand up for my own self. And I understand Spanish, but they think I'm stupid because I'm a green guy and I don't get it, you know? So, I'll tell you about my panic attacks too. So, so he, so he's with the dude all day, ignoring me, not giving me no money, not taking care of me, I might have had some drugs every now and then, because that's all he fucking gave me was drugs. Food, shelter, food. I gave it to myself. I was his girl, And, but, he rescued me off the streets, Una puta. So, he fucking, he's with this dude all day and he's getting fucked up like a motherfucker. And, like he usually was. And I come out of the room. Where he had the room, that door like that slides. And my room turned into my room. Like he would call it my room, not our room. And that pissed me off too. So the door, I open the door and I come out. And I'm not delusional. I know what I saw. He was fucking around with the guy and the guy was crawling like on his knees. And he's in a chair and he stood up like this and his dick was hard. And he was pretending like the guy was gonna suck his dick. But the guy didn't suck his dick and his dick wasn't out. But it was gross enough. And then I left or whatever, and I come back, and I look up, and I don't know what they were doing, but they were hiding behind the refrigerator upstairs. And then they jump apart or move away. They were fucking acting weird,
Yeah.
So I left, and he was so fucked up and spazzed out, like, oh God, it's a story that I really don't want to tell right now, and on camera, I'll tell you later the rest, okay? But I left. And I was like making fun of him, and I was on top of his. He was doing a 4-wheeler, and I got on top of it sitting, and Lachi Lazaro was there, my adopted son, and I'm pretty sure it was Andy too, who always acted like, oh, you smell like cebollas, and always want to tease me, but then he wants to like act like he's my friend sometimes too, like he gave a shit, even though one night I was so fucking hard up that I told him, call Andy, he can have me, you're not. And I passed him. I was like, God, I can't believe I chose you. Like, out of all his friends, And I wasn't even attracted to Andy. Not really. But he was nice sometimes, But he just picked on me too much. And he wasn't funny. So, plus he was the one ruining my flaco, And killing my babies, I believe. With the drugs, So, yeah, we, where was I? I'm on this fucking thing and I'm fed up. Oh, I had that dress. I had it for a minute. I had to get rid of the fucking dress because he wouldn't shut up about it. He wanted me like a fucking Mormon or some shit,
Yeah.
And if not, I had to look like a fellow mechanic, like a fucking dyke, And they would tease me with that shit too and try to make me a lesbian or a threesome or something, And so whatever. And I kept telling Andy that I wanted his baby and that I didn't give a fuck that I would leave him after I had the baby because I had something of him to remind me of him, Because he was never going to get it right. Is that crazy or what? Like, I loved him enough to have his child and raise it on my own. My little flaco. So, I'm over him, though, Like, I'll ever always love him, A part of me. But over it. Next. So, but I guess I'm still grieving the loss of our fucking business and home, And all our friends. Because all his friends became my friends, and then you break up and you don't have no friends. Is that fucked up or what? Or they want to fuck you? Treat you like a whore? Because they're married and stupid? And you're desperate on the street, so you have no choice, really. So, and I almost cheated on him once. One of his clients, he was cute and his wife was a bitch and like a skank, and I think he was sick of her. So I was like, I tried to trick one night, and I was like rusty because I hadn't done it in a while, and nervous and scared, but I just had to get away from him,
Yeah.
and I needed things, and he wasn't taking care of me. So this guy stops. Chris, I think was his name. Yeah, he was cute. He had a nice dick too, and I was so fucking tempted. I felt so guilty so long, and every time I get high and he would come over, I would, don't tell him, please don't tell him. And he never told him. From what I know, I told him later on when we broke up after he scarred me. Excuse me. So whatever. I got it. I would try to date him, trying to pretend I didn't recognize him, but I did because I had my glasses on. And he recognized me. It's like, oh fuck, he's I know you. You're Flacco's girl. And I was like, oh fuck me, man. And he still wanted to do it, and I did too, but I couldn't because I'm faithful. And I know, dumbass. I should have fucked the shit out of a nigga. I needed that fuck. And he had a nice one, better than Flacco's dick. Thicker. I like it thicker than longer. And I he's like, well, do you want to get out? He's like, I don't have my wallet. And he's like, can I owe you or whatever? I'm like, you crazy? I need money. And I'm like, he's driving me crazy. I need money. And he knew what Flacco was all about, He was his client. And he was a pretty nice guy, A little bit like, maybe too disloyal, maybe. I don't know if he was married or not, but they had a kid. I don't know too much about him, to really know if he was good or bad. So he asked me, do you want to get out of here? At least. Because he said if he goes to his house to get his wallet, his wife. So I think he was married. Or maybe they just, because I was called the wife, but I wasn't legally married,
Yeah.
They do that. So he, and, they had a baby, just a new baby, So he couldn't sneak in the house to get his wallet. Or that's what he said. But he was a good client. Like, he came back and spent a lot of money with Flacco. I'm like, I got you that shit, bitch. I paid you that $100, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You just don't know. I got a secret. I got secrets too. So the guy gives me a ride to my area, where I go to Hialeah with my homeboy Alex. Back to where Flacco found me. That was a setup with all the dealers to get him to get me because he wanted me. He chose me. Oh, he's fucking me one day. It was a good fuck too. Flacco. But I was pissed. He was like, see, I had to get the best in town. What the fuck? Are you shitting me? So yeah, we were together a while by then, He's really turned psycho. He really turned so bad. When I met him, I thought, or maybe it was all along. That's what people are like when they're down and out and shit. They forget, when they come up and then they're like assholes, like esta señora. Bacalao. She's not here, but I swear her ghost is there. She left her soul behind and she went to church. She can't take it. It's not allowed in the church. So anyways, you know what he did? I had a feeling he might try me, and he did. He's like, come on, man, I'm so horny, please. He's begging me, Maybe his wife cut him off or some shit, And I was dying too because I was horny like a motherfucker. For like a year, it was like a 2-minute fuck in doggy style. Assume position. I waited all day to assume a 2-minute position. But I loved him so much that I did it, And I was so like every day, like I started bitching. I'm an unfulfilled wife, I was in my shit. I wasn't like early 40s, I guess, So I was dying. Just like when I tried to cut my hair and we got in a fight and I accidentally broke Cheeto's mirror and fucked up my finger, so I run before he bake tracks me and wrap up my finger at McDonald's to get a fucking cheeseburger or some shit and come back. I ran to the fucking the same thing. I ran to the fucking clinic too several times so I wouldn't get Baker acted, falsely Baker acted, and they rescued me, bandaged me or some shit, So I'm going to cut my hair and I'm like pissed off, and I do that when I get mad. I cut my hair off, or I used to, and like I'm not cutting my body, and he No, no, don't cut your hair, Vanessa. Stop, stop, don't cut your hair. I'm like, you're not fucking using it, bitch. You're supposed to pull it, motherfucker. Stick your dick in me or whatever, you know? Like, I didn't like go grab. I'm just explaining to you what I was thinking, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't say that, but he knew what I was meant. And I was just, fuck, I'm not in a relationship to be like abstinent or treated like a dumbass, you know? So, so yeah, that dude whips out his dick. God, it was delicious. But I didn't suck it. I behaved, and but I couldn't help it. It was like my hand just instantly grabbed it. It was a reflex, you know. I'm human, and and then I was like, oh my god, I can't do this. And then he's like, oh, your breasts are so beautiful. And he's all over my breast, and it was like a truck next to me. Oh my god, we have witnesses. And I'm like, no, no, this is cheating. I can't do this. And I'm like, oh my god, I want it so bad, but I didn't do it. He dropped me off. And then it took me like forever. I found a guy. I lied about it later on to tell the truth that I pulled 3 tricks since I knew him at the end of our relationship because I had no choice, you know? I needed money. And we had a fucking tire shop. That's sad, right? $20. But I spent it with him and he got half. And then one night he wants to tell me, fine, I don't care if you do it. I'll smoke it. Asshole, right? I didn't do it. And it might have been 4, but I remember everyone. And I was with him 2 years. I used to lay in bed jonesing and just sweat it out. And when I was done, like when I was really bad jonesing and didn't have to do any work, I would just lay there suffering, waiting for it to go away and praying and shit, you know? And so I could remain faithful and not lose him. But I lost him anyway. So, so this day, this guy picks me up and I needed a ride home. I couldn't walk it. Not that time. And it's pretty far, West 8th and 18th to 37 West and 16th. That's pretty far, right?
Yeah.
And the streets are different in Hialeah, and they're not really, they're kind of like a little bit of like hills.
And long.
Yeah. So, but don't take Okeechobee. That's a big mistake. That's really long, you know? Cut through Medley, like to get to Miami Springs. If you cut through 16th Avenue Medley walking, it's a much easier walk to my dad's house. So, our apartment, whatever. I told you, I'm not lazy and I can walk, you know? And I get shit done. So whatever, I did what I had to do, got $20, you know? And so I go back and I lie about it, you know? Because I couldn't tell him the truth. He couldn't handle it. And I gave him the money and we got one each, you know? I don't remember the rest of the night because that was bad enough. But the second one, if I remember correctly, this old security guard that used to try to get with me, he was secure. There was a cool fucking like bar called the Hideout or something, but it wasn't cool to hang out in really, you know those bars like the little Spanish hooker bars. You know what I'm talking about?
Like cafeteria kind of.
Yeah. Well, at nighttime it was awesome though. Like there's a hole in the wall, but I liked it, and I danced there a couple times. You know, and I danced with this like it looked like a tranny. I don't know if it was a woman or a man, but I didn't care. And then, she didn't want me to like. It looked like they were having like a special night or something, and I touched her and she didn't like it. Like, but I was dancing with her, like you know what I mean. Like they were stuck up stupid, but I don't give a fuck. And the guy stopped letting me in because he didn't like. I was like, I don't remember why, but I can't. He would give me free food though. He started giving me free food because I started panhandling then because I was faithful and I didn't want to trick, you know. So eventually, like one night, he was with that bitch, the last bitch, catering to her ass, and he promised me money, and I waited like 5 hours to smoke something, and pretty much the whole day he gave me shit. And she gets to bring her girlfriend over, and I get a crumb from her girlfriend, and all this stupid shit, and it was just a nightmare. And he's like, give it up, Vanessa, you're not getting on, it's time to sleep. Who the fuck are you, you know? Get the fuck out of here, right? I wish I could. I would like to punch Andy. I would like to really hurt him. But well, I don't have to. He's a loser. So and he cheats too. So um I went running because I talked about it before. Like, can you believe the old man tried me with $20? Like I went to fucking do him for $20. You know. So I went running and I'm pretty fast. And I'm on my tippy toes, you know? And he tried to grab my ponytail. And this happened twice in two different directions, two entrances of the warehouses. One was at night, one was in the daytime. And he's chasing me. He's like, you fucking bitch. Because he knew what I was going to do. Because I got fed up. I was upstairs. And I said, fuck this shit. And I ran down the stairs. And I just kept running to go to the old man. And I went running. I'm like fucking winging it, you know? And he is coming after me. But he's a piece of shit. Smokes crack all day and drinks beer. You think he's going to keep up with me? And even if he's skinny and tall. And he didn't get me, of course. Even if he would have, I was still going to go at some point. And I tricked her with the old man. I tricked him like 3 times. You know, he even came into mechanics. And stupid Flacco cops cocaine in front of him. You know? How embarrassing. And like the time I got pissed and took all the fucking food out of the fridge and left on the streets again. And I'm calling him, I'm cussing him out, and I don't know. I did some shit. I don't know, man. I fucked his high up big time. He went running, tripping, you know. And I didn't know where he ended up, and I didn't give a fuck. So, and then he was all vulnerable, like his nice side, you know. But I cut a nigga that size, easy. So whatever. But every time I was with that old man, I didn't want to be because he didn't want to use protection. And I had to put my legs a certain way where he thought he was in, but he was never in, you know? And that's gross. And then I have to clean up the evidence and lie about that too and feel guilty. You think that was easy? And then one day I told him, I said, he was next to me and we're like both quiet next to each other, you know, just waiting for a client or a call or something. And I looked at him and I said, you know, the last three 20s were all tricks or dates or something. He goes, you know what? He goes, what? Oh my God, Vanessa, you ruined my whole day. It's like, well, take a taste of your own medicine, bitch. You know? He bring the horse to the crib. You know? Fuck yeah. He's cheating on me right in front of my face. You think I'm not going to go date a guy for $20 when I need shit? And I don't even know. I'm pretty sure I gave him half. $10 for you, $10 for me. You know? I got what I wanted and needed. But during that time that I was waiting, I came up with $5. And I got a kibble, you know, from when the dealers that were like, they ripped us off. They ripped me off. I purposely, when I got my check, I went and bought a phone. Because I didn't have a phone, I was using his phone. And then I'm seeing all his fucking cheating shit in his phone, you know? Or he's getting mad at me for doing something with his phone like Facebook all night. Taking pictures and saying my... I sent pictures to my dad about what I bought. And I took a picture of the cocaine too. Why are you trying to get me in trouble? You're setting me up, Vanessa? Oh, fuck off. What, the truth hurts? You tell everybody anyways, including the cops. So who's setting who up? He told me he worked for a secret organization and I was his last assignment. And that he fell for me. Some shit like that. Wow, I really want to know that. You know? And one time we're talking about the women or whatever, and I was like, oh, that's what you do, jump from woman to woman. He goes, maybe you were the one that was supposed to meet all along. He was so fucking charming and slick, you know? And the first time that he betrayed me, that I believe was, what was that bitch's name? Bianca? I think Bianca I'm pretty sure Bianca was later. It was, this is what I got know of, you know? It was this other girl, I can't remember her name. And she was so nasty. She got a little bit better throughout the time we were there, you know? With, like, her respect towards me or whatever. But, she even told me that she likes me better on weed, you know? I like myself better on weed, too. So, because I get a little paranoid, you know? If I don't know you, or you make me uncomfortable and I don't want you there. and I didn't want your shit anyways. You know, like a lot of times I'd smoke and I didn't even want to. It's just all I had extra. You know, to do for fun. I never got taken out or nothing. You know, like a few times I got to go to the store with him, but he still didn't buy me what I wanted. You know, and um, what I want to go to the hardware store with you, right, or the fucking auto parts, and go to Target and not get anything. um, and that's just my money that I fucking not give you out of like some kind of like miracle. So, because I was getting stronger and stronger, you know. So, but I felt like I was weaker and weaker to be honest, because I was still there, you know. Because I'd wake up and go, "Oh my god, I'm still homeless," and he's like, "Well, what do you want me to do, Vanessa? Buy you a house?" Wasn't that the whole plan that we were gonna get a house together? You know, initially. So, so what was I saying? Oh, the old man, but whatever. But there was another guy. Okay, like the day that I flipped out about the faggot shit, I stole $10 from him because I came back. I was leaving and coming back because he was driving me nuts, and I didn't have anything anyway. And I like to walk around and stuff, and I'd ask people for cigarettes and money. I don't know, liquor, McDonald's, and I'd get it. So I I freaking and sometimes we just shoot the shit because there was other homeless people around and stuff, you know. So yeah, so I come back, he locks me out, he comes out and steals my bag and goes in like a little rat, and because he's mad because he found me or I found him, and I went and bought. I came up and he saw me do it. There was a five on the floor and a five on the table. I was like, oh shit, there's cash around. And I'm like, I'm grabbing it. Fuck it, this shit. I want some. I want some fucking cigarettes and a lighter. You know. I earned it. He never paid me. That wasn't the agreement. So I remember the end when I said I quit. Fuck you. I fucking quit. You owe me, motherfucker. Where's my money? You know? Oh, I gave you all this. I what? You're leaving me? You gave me all this? You don't even own it. You know? So I'm like, I gave me all this. I'm still here, you know? And I tell them all the time, you see all these fuckers that you deal with? Who's still here, bitch? Who's still here? Who's still by your side when you don't have nothing or you know what I mean? And fucking that day I met a truck driver. He was parked around the corner of the laundromat. Cause I knew like they were whoring at the laundromat. Cause I watch shit, you know? I like to watch people. So I'm like, oh, I could get a trick at the laundromat. But the liquor store was full of whores too. So that place was a bad area, man. I don't like it. You know what? I didn't like living there at all. But I liked the tire shop, you know? And there was a lot of hoes and shit because there was a lot of drugs, you know? And I I went in and I was like slick about it, you know? I'm just like kind of like playing it cool. And I went up to some black guys. I'm like, oh, yeah, the black guy will bite. They like them thick. And they like white girls. But I really just wanted, like, weed. And I told them, what's up? You know, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Small talk. And, oh, I would do that. And they never kicked me out. I would go around asking people for change. And a lot of people would give it to me because, you know, quarters for the machines and stuff. But that one, you put a card. You can load a card. You gotta buy the card and then load it from now on. It's pretty cool. But for some reason, people had changed. I know they had the little machines you put quarters in. I just know I got a lot of change in there. You know, the liquor store, most of the people were like assholes, and they didn't like. And then the liquor store people would kick you out, but they would let the other people that were friends stay. You know, the regulars, I guess. So, and a lot of that nasty drunks too. That I'm not going to. You crazy? I'm stupid. And there was a bar across the street I liked. That was like a warehouse bar. But they got rid of the pool tables, and that was my outlet, pool tables. I told my therapist that. And they said some shit about him, like, well, he doesn't have a problem. What the fuck? Who cares? Like, I'm a woman, and we're American. I'm a feminist. And I had to, like, reject my feminism, reject my not Christianity, but reject my tarot reading and all that shit for him and all the others, you know? My style, everything, you know? Fuck that. So, I don't like that they got rid of pool tables. And I think they changed owners. So they have like maquinas now, you know, it's totally different, but it still looks nice. It's a nice hangout. I don't know if it's still there or not because I left. I gotta go check, you know. I used to go there all the time, like escape from him, and I would ask people for money there too, and they buy me drinks or give me cigarettes or just let me sit next to them, you know. And they saw me get arrested, and they're like, "Oh my god, girl, what happened?" When I got Baker Acted one time, and um, I had friends, I had people because I go out and get what I need, you know. And I mean, the whole neighborhood pretty much knew what was going on anyway, you know. And he would go there and flirt with the lady and buy beer. And she's like, "That's your husband? Like, poor you, you know." She'd give me credit, you know, and I'd pay her back. I took a little long once and she didn't want to give me credit anymore. Not a lot of credit, you know. I'd beg her. And, um, or like a free beer, you know. One. I don't drink, it doesn't matter. One's good enough. And the life I was living, you know. Shit, just Mr. needs a beer, she's with him. Here you go. And there was an old man. He was a widow. And one time I messed up because I got like flirted with him a little bit, but he wasn't like that. He got offended, you know. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I'm having a bad day or whatever, you know. And I took a friend of mine to there with me from Winnie Gamble's ILF, and she was kind of a nightmare. But I was trying to like, I don't know. We were all right, you know. But I got in trouble for it because she fucking told him she drank. She sold me out, you know? And then he's telling me I gotta go to meetings. I'm like, yeah, I'll go to fucking meetings. And I'll pick a white chip and another white chip and another white chip. I'm like, this ain't my first rodeo, bitch. And then he wanted to slam the door like a pimp on the girl and shit. And I told him, you ain't my pimp. He acts like it. He's a loser. So is his wife. I mean, I have to say the truth. I was with him too long and superficial as fuck. Using all our money so you can get your fucking laser hair removal and your lips done and go to a fucking basketball game, you know? And be a bitch because he's flirting with the cheerleaders. He already fucking let a crack whore that was one of the tenants suck his dick while you're married already. You really think he's like exceptional? He's significantly older than her. She's the one that won him because she was a client too. How delusional. They seem to really love each other though. But then again, they're fucked up. She got hepatitis, I think, and unless it's cured or some shit, and she was having issues. They were gonna pay some woman to have their kid in Colombia. Is that crazy shit or what? So, and I tried to be her friend, but I couldn't be their friend. And I kept telling him I don't mix business with pleasure. That was the first ILF I ever was at, if I remember correctly, or after Flacco, and that's 2 years later after being in ILF, you know. And they took me in when I owed him money, and all he gave a fuck about was money. And he owed me money when he kicked me out. And the cops told him, why don't you give her food stamps back? Why don't you give her rent back if you're kicking her out? You know? And he never did. So, and when I got through, it was like Tales from the Crypt. I'm like, I have to sleep on that. Like the box spring, like if it got flooded or something, was disgusting. You know? And I was so grossed out, but I had nowhere else to go. You know? And I cleaned a lot of that shit. That place was disgusting. And so were most of the people too. Really fucked up, and they kept them fucked up because of the drugs, you know, the pharmaceuticals, you know. And one of them, Tony, used to tell him he was a rapist and pick on him. And I thought I didn't know everything at first, you know. I wouldn't lie, I wouldn't doubt it. And I stopped getting in the car with him because I felt bad vibes with him all from the get go, even though at the same time that could have just been my trauma, you know. Either way, I said I didn't think it was appropriate. She was already fucking tracking him and shit because he cheated on her. You think I want? And she even asked me, "Why are you calling him?" Once, and I'm like, "Are you fucking tripping? I got better standards than you. You know, like you think I'm gonna settle for that?" And also, like marijuana, I was discussing marijuana with him and how it's beneficial for you and not a drug. But I'm not allowed to smoke marijuana when I live there either, you know. And there was one girl that she didn't give a fuck. She was drunk all the time. And he never kicked her out, you know? And she used to get in a fight with some other girl, I can't remember who. And the other girl punched her first in the stomach. Oh, but she fucking ended it quick. I like her. She was like a Hell's Angel kind of shit, the motorcycle people. She was a white girl. And she found her daughter through Facebook. Like after like years later, it was her daughter. I'm pretty sure. I think it was a girl. She told me some stories, man, and I wasn't crazy about her because I'm superficial a little bit. I don't think I'm superficial. It's kind of. I mean, she was a heavier white girl, and it was kind of we had similar figures, similar looks, and I don't like being heavy really because I was always like in shape and fit and took care of myself. So it's like a reflection of me. But she had hepatitis C, and I don't want to. I'm really, really germophobic. Like, and I started sharing stick with her just to show her that I loved her, enough. Because she'd always get me. Like, funny people do it all the time, get me in a bed and shit. Because in the beginning, I just slept my ass off. And I would get annoyed because the stupid kids in the room wouldn't leave me the fuck alone, like Alexandra Robinson. She was disgusting too. She's the grossest shit ever. She purposely used my towel and purposely used my sponge. She drove me fucking batshit crazy. And I would come out bitching like, bro, it looks like fucking clothes took a shit all over the room. And she played that fucking nasty, sort of like cheap cologne. You know? I can't smell that shit. It gives me asthma and this, that, and the other makes me dizzy. And, you know, I hated living in that room. And he did that shit to me on purpose. Like I told him, oh yeah, I'm done with nanny duty. What are you talking about nanny duty? And then he's like, oh, you stop that. That's verbal abuse because I said that she had HIV. Alexander Robinson. I don't want to catch a disease, bitch. Because she would talk about tricking. You know? Like her and the other girl was still tricking. I forgot about that. The other girl got raped. And supposedly that wasn't her first time. And they couldn't get her to go to the hospital. But what I would have done was call the cops and have her checked out. Because that was what they were supposed to be doing. It's an ILF, right? And she has mental illness. And she's 18. Sneaking out of the house, doing things wrong. She was a crazy bitch, but she had a reason to be. Her fucking mother killed her baby at 16 and made her where she couldn't have children no more. She forced an abortion. Her dad tied her to a chair because she got drunk and did some crazy shit too. Like strapped her to a chair. She was in all those institutions since she was like 16 and she kept crying about not being able to have a baby. She did this cool shit she told me about. She goes, you think you're crazy? The nurse tried to give her a shot in one of those places, and she grabbed out the nurse's hand and put it in her neck. And I believe her. She was my sidekick on my YouTube channel, and we used to play around. And when she would say "mota," that means I guess in Mexican or something, weed. And that's why I took her out, because I wanted her to see how I could get free shit. And I only had a little bit of money because my dad. We went to church. I took her to my church. But after church, I said, "Let's go drink." You want to drink, right? Or you want to see the bar, right? I basically didn't influence her, but I allowed her to do what she wanted to do, like dig her own grave. She was grown enough. Because they had her so sheltered. She couldn't cut her hair. She couldn't do this. She couldn't do that. I'm not talking about Alex now. I'm talking about the other girl. Like, I liked her so much, I wanted to hang out with her all the time. It was fun. She was 18, half my age and shit, pretty much. And when Tito came to give us Marlboros, and I gave him this clock I found, and it was a pretty clock. It was before he finally got me, like, fucked me. And, because it was before the accident when I got my knee whacked, and I got kicked out. He wasn't there. And we're not supposed to call 911. And I'm screaming. You were supposed to scream for him. They weren't there. No fighting, scream for us or something. Because they were in an Easton apartment. And we had the house. How could you do that? And I didn't even know there was cameras. And so you're fucking shitting me? You're out on a date or something and I'm getting my fucking knee sliced open? And I get kicked out? And then they discharged me in a place because I think my friend let me in. The one that was on the bottom bunk that I liked. That I got her from sleeping all fucking day. And getting fat. Which she was like really mad because she was fat. Because she was a model in Puerto Rico. And all she could say was she wanted to go back to Puerto Rico. And she hated fucking Miami. And she said in Puerto Rico she lived in a mansion. Her mom like had a cop boyfriends and shit. So she was like really fucked, And her mom was a beautician and I met her and she was kind of plastic. She was nice though. And I'm sure, like, I don't know, her brother tried to fuck her, or everyone in her family tried to fuck her, because she was pretty. and she was significantly a lot thinner compared to the picture. Like the picture she showed me in her age and the distance. I'm sure the medication got her that way, you know. And we would get these like she liked fruit snacks, and we throw them at each other. I was like, "Here, take a fruit snack, bitch." Then what the fuck you doing? We do stupid shit, you know, because we were bored. And so we would do YouTube videos and fuck around, and she was my sidekick. And she put her hair over and go like crazy. And then we like play fight and start smacking each other. We had fun. And it was fun, but she was kind of a baby and she was spoiled. She was very expensive, you know, because she was used to it. But the time she got raped, I told her not to do it. I said, do not sneak out. And I'm not getting in the middle of this, bro. Like, you're on your own, you know? You're grown, you're 18 or whatever, you know? Plus all the other shit she told me in her life that she's done, you know? And she was like that. She liked like the gangster guys, you know? I guess reggaeton crap or whatever. This guy, she told me this guy, but I don't know because I kind of know him and I don't know if he was what he's done to her or not or what he's capable of, you know? Because he's mentally fucked up too. But he said he really cared about her and that he didn't do the things she said, you know? All I know is that she wanted ice cream or food. And, I mean, we had banquet dinners for dinner most of the time if nobody cooked, you know? Wow, thanks. Or the kitchen was closed, you know? Because he had this crazy bitch fucking that was loaded deep clean the kitchen. And she was abusing her mother that was disabled and couldn't move. And she gave a shot to a girl because she thought she was a fucking nurse and shit. She was going to cure cancer. Deborah, fucking some weird last name. She was Jewish and obnoxious. And tried to buy me, but that didn't work. But the other girl that had hepatitis, Jennifer, she was pretty straight. And she would always make me go, come on, Vanessa, want to smoke a cigarette? Come talk to me. Keep me company. Keep me company. I'll give you cigarettes. I didn't have anything. I owed rent, you know? And my husband took everything and left me. So he became a pig farmer, whatever the fuck, mechanic, and didn't give a fuck about me. He visited me once, and his mom paid for McDonald's too. He couldn't even pay for McDonald's. I gave him a gift bag. I got him this watch. No, it's actually a compass that I got from him through Wish. And, you know, so he could survive the farm. It had a flint and everything. I think it had a little knife. I don't know. But it was cool. I thought it was cool as fuck. He liked it, he said. I put little gifts in there, things he liked. Pills too, of course. So he could calm down off his crack. I think it helped him more than his crack. He's like bipolar. But yeah, that was the last time that I thought he loved me, you know? And I was like, some shit about, and I'm like, no, you don't have to change. I took it back, but I was like, nah, you have to change. You know? He was over. But his mother was like blushing because we were all like lovey-dovey. You know, it was all over him. I'm like, come on, let's go in the bathroom. He's like, Vanessa, my mom's here. No, not at McDonald's. And she wasn't that bad with me, you know, but it was her son, so he came first, you know. And I think I grew on her because it showed her how much I loved her son, you know, and that I wasn't the person she thought I was, you know. And she saw his behavior and all the girls and everything, you know. And I told her. I remember when she gave him Christmas gift, $10 to each it was, and the dealer was there and right in front of her. I was like, oh my God, she gave me $10. Or like when she first started to try to accept me, and she handed the food to me instead to him, because he was like, you can give it to Vanessa or whatever, and he's like, go ahead, Vanessa, grab it, you know. Like, it wasn't completely terrible, but I love that song. When it rains, it pours, where I don't have to see my ex-future mother-in-law no more. Because there was a time when I first met him, she was driving me batshit crazy. We weren't getting along. And she always kicking me out, you know, because it was her place. And I had nowhere to go. And like one time I waited for him all day in front, and she kept coming out, and I couldn't remember his name, and she's like, Dimel, because I'm like, I don't know how to pronounce it, you know? And then she's like, she comes like, ¿Qué hiciste? ¿Qué hiciste? I hate that word, you know? And I'm asking, what the fuck does hiciste mean? And they told me, she's like, and even the like cousin hated him Come on, he has. You think you're the only one? He has a bunch of children out there he doesn't know about. He's how he is. He's a fucking junkie or whatever the fuck. He's not gonna change, you know. And I believed in him, you know. But in the beginning, he was awesome, and like I would hang out with him. Like one time, he was doing these things that are like big giant spark plugs in a truck. It was like a food truck or whatever, or that's what the guy wanted to turn it into. And that guy was like paying my coke, and we had plenty, and I was scared. And it was funny. We're in his room, and his mother's always in the living room with the fucking grandmother, and they know what we're doing, you know. And I'm like, oh my god, man, your mom. He's like, come on, but as I told you a million times, I'm a 40-year-old man. I do what the fuck I want, you know. And so we're like doing it real quick because he's got to work, and I didn't want to keep him company, and I didn't want to be alone. And so like we do our shit, and I'm like high as a kite, so I would cover my eyes, and I used to tell him that I wear sunglasses so people can't read my eyes because they're light, you know, and my eyes tell everything, so they like look into my soul, you know. So I would cover with sunglasses, and I also felt like they couldn't tell I was high, you know. But then I'm kind of like quiet when I smoke. You know, like, I got to talking when I smoked when I went to Brown Stuff. You know, they pulled me out of my skin. You know, out of my shell. But also a lot of abuse. You know, will do that to you. And like I panicking once. I was panicking once. Like oh no, in my head, I smoked too much crack. What do I got to do for it? You know. And he's like, um, remember your street girl, your street, you survived this, that, and the other. And he calmed me down. But so this night we would go and we had to go like we had to cut through like behind his apartments. There were like duplexes and through like this person's yard and shit to get to like an alleyway that was like a dead end or some shit. And that's where the truck was parked. So that was scary as fuck at night, you know? And not to mention like that guy was a cokehead, you know, and it wasn't the best neighborhood. It's in Hialeah though. And we're smoking crack, man. It's not like my nerves are your central nervous system. You hear everything, you know? And in the dark. And I was like, fuck it, and he's like, I told him I can't keep up with you, you know, like I met my match, you know, like more than my match. This motherfucker's crazy, you know, and uh, he was like hours, all this grease and shit, just sticking these big fucking things and taking them out, trying to get that shit to start and all. And the part finally came and da 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 da, and all I had to do was watch and keep him company. And every now and then I get a hit or whatever, you know. And so what I did was write in my pink notebook. I lost that pink notebook, you know, because I'm a writer, and it calms me down. And I learned that like with my ex-husband to stop, and I started doing that in Brown Sub too when they didn't like it. The owner kept like a complex that I'm writing about him, which I was, but or all of them, but I wasn't writing about them. I was writing about me, you know, and to look back on later. And I threw that notebook away. I threw that away. Just like ones with Flacco, I got paranoid. So I started putting him, well, the warnings, you know, the voices. And I started like putting him in water to destroy it and then ripping him off. He's like, yeah, I'll do that. You know? Somebody said that. And so, yeah, but I lost so many fucking writings. It's not funny. But some of them I'm like glad to lose. It's just the ones when I lived in my mom's dungeon that I wanted to keep those, you know? And I'm mad because I'm still hoping that maybe my uncle saved him. You know? She'd always sleep in my diaries. You're not supposed to do that, you know? And I'd get mad. And she, like, that bitch would cut the lock off if she had to. She'd fucking take a fucking, I don't know, weld whatever she had to get into my fucking journal, you know, to keep me fucking down, you know, or call me something that I wasn't. So she's teasing, like making fun of me to the kids. She came over once to my dad. She couldn't do shit. She couldn't touch me there, you know? And so we're chilling because the kids are there, you know?
Yeah.
And I made a video of it, but I lost it with one of my first phones. It was a track phone, though. And my room was big and nice, you know? It actually was his room, but both are like pretty much the same size. We just switched sides at some point, you know, from when we were growing up. And I liked it better like that, actually, because it's in the front instead of in the back, you know?
Yeah.
It was a beautiful house.
I'm about to fall asleep, okay?
Am I working? I'm giving you, like, bedtime stories.
I know, right?
We'll finish it another time. Well, no, let me tell you real quick. They came in and I used to have papers everywhere, from writing and shit. And uh, I had like agoraphobia at one point. Too scared to walk out the front door and shit. Panic attacks, really bad panic attacks. And there was triggers, like this movie I watched triggered it. And it was like a crack movie that I didn't expect to see that I got from the library. And I was like, I can't believe this shit's not like only for kids. I mean, for only for adults. That's how graphic it was. Like, I swear the actors really were high. So, um, I know we were chilling, and I had my little speaker on, and I played some weird music, and my son was like, "That's weird." I'm like, "Yeah, it is. It's supposed to be." I think it was gothic or whatever, or sort of gothic. Excuse me. So whatever. I'm there with my little speaker. We're all chilling, and my mom was making fun of me talking about how she read my journal when I was bitching about her dogs. Cause I'm like in the journal, I'm talking about how sure as shit, she knows how much I hate her fucking little chihuahuas, and like my main chore is to fucking clean the cages of the dogs. You know, like fucking Cinderella, right? Like she goes on vacation and she has itinerary, instructions on the taped on the kitchen door of how I'm supposed to do everything with her million fucking animals in her dirty house and her toilet that needed to put out of misery. And it finally was. My brother used to say this shit all the time. It was the most disgusting toilet I've ever seen. That's why my dad never wanted to go there. You know? But my dad's house is spick and span and he's a man. He lives alone. And he works. You know? But the fridge would be empty because he always goes to... Oh, you know what he would do? Instead of throwing his garbage out, he would put his like scraps or whatever, leftovers inside the fridge. But he would never eat it. Sometimes I would pick at it or eat it if I had nothing or I fucked up because he'd give me tough love. If I sold my food stamps or something. Like traded them or whatever for drugs. And he's like, all right, well, too bad. You shouldn't have done it. And then once in a while, I get like $6 to go to prison and they get some buy one, get free ground beef and hot dogs. But no more junior whoppers and whoppers coming home. You fucked up, Vanessa. No, you can't have half my sub. No, you can't have my leftovers either. But then I would sneak in the kitchen. I'm like putting fucking pieces of chicken off a chicken wing that he already ate, because I'm hungry. But there was always bananas, raisin bran, like butter, peanut butter jelly, everything else that I needed. And I did the girl chores. He did the guy chores. I cleaned the house. I cooked, even though he wouldn't eat half my food, even though he keeps talking about my chicken soup. I don't even remember him ever eating my chicken soup. Maybe he did it behind my back. And he was cool. He'd be like, all right, Vanessa, shut up. I'm watching TV. Do something. Go to the library. Go in the garage. Go, because my man cave was the garage. Because he didn't like me smoking in the house. Weed. I mean, he hates cigarettes, so that wasn't going to happen. We compromised, I was an adult. And his daughter, first daughter, the reason he changed his ways in his life and gave up pot. So that's why I don't get too angry about the alcohol and the casinos and the strip clubs. But I still wonder, like, if he wasn't a father that went to strip clubs, would I have ever been a stripper? So, but I think so because of my mother and because I was watching Jerry Springer and then I was 14-ish and I told my mom that's what I want to be, like a showgirl. And she got pissed. But then I'm a stripper and we're in the backyard and she's fucked up at my grandma's house and talking about we could do a mother-daughter sugar and spice. I'm like, have you seen yourself? I don't think so. Smoke another one, bitch. She thought she was so hot. She used to do that shit when we were growing up because she looked like a model, kind of. Like, and she was really pretty when she got ugly and ugly and she had like a witch's nose. My dad broke her to football. He told me he did this shit on purpose, I think. I don't know if he did it on purpose, but he was happy because she was a fucking crazy bitch. Driving him nuts, She kicked him his nuts, man, and made him purple in the front lawn of Miami Springs. And this was years ago when it sucked worse than it does now. All the snobs and shit. It's a suburb, And every day they would beat each other up. Go to the bar, beat each other up. Go to the bar, come and beat each other up, make love. She'd come out naked because she's the shit. We're kids. We're supposed to see that. And I remember them being little, 5 and 6-ish, and I'm babysitting or whatever. They come home from the bar, they're beating the fuck out of each other, tearing up the living room. And it was my sister that started. It's the AC. It's the AC. It's the AC. It's nothing wrong. Is it freezing? Maybe.
I think so.
Let me make it
Put
higher.
it back on.
Yeah.
72.
No, that's too high. 70, 71.
Seven.
I get hot. Remember, I gotta find what's wrong with me. Sorry, it was the only one able to fall asleep. Is that good? 70? Let's try 70. Fuck it, I'll put 72 like you said. If it gets too hot, I'll put it lower. Ah, shit. My legs almost gave out because we're used to sitting like... So we're little, okay? This is the last story I'll say, and I'll shut it off. We're little.
Recording.
Yeah, an hour and 25 minutes. Pretty good.
Holy shit.
I told you I could talk. I got too much in me. Nobody wants to listen, and I'm always alone. So, I'm a loner, you know? I had no choice, really. Hey, when I was little, I wrote with blood. I'm not little, but I was young, like 13. I was depressed in my room, and I wrote with my blood. I cut my wrist to get the blood out. But it was more of an art thing than a cry.